Hi, this is Bee from Sorcery Soap, and welcome to my little bit of chaos over here. But I thought I should get this video for you so you can see what I'm up to. I made these little snails, these little steampunk snails with hats and gears all over them. And I'm going to finish these with you today so you can see, but I'm also going to assemble these other pieces. These are all partially assembled. Obviously, I'm moving through them. Different colors of snail that I made. So let's do the body of it first. And I have, let's see. So I have this new brown that should be available this week that's quite fun and light colored. So this is the brown. It's really light colored. And I'll put a little darker brown in there with it. Mix this up a bit. Like that, okay. And let's put even a little bit darker. So this one has a little bit of sugar and spice in it, and I thought this isn't as contrasty as I would like it to be, so I'm gonna put a different color in. Let's see what we have. I think I have yellow. Yeah, let's do the yellow. Okay, so that should be pretty good. So essentially what I want to do is just make it sort of swirly, and that it doesn't require any actual skill, just to smash it together and make it kind of swirly. Like that. And I'll take this part because I think that's kind of cool. It is really hot here today too, so for my soap dough to be behaving so well, even the air, they said, is 116, 17, the actual temperature, but that means it's in the shade, which is just baffling to me because most people don't exist in the shade, and most of the things in the world are in the sun, especially out in the desert because there aren't any clouds. And so the actual temperature is more like 121 degrees or so. I wouldn't even know, but I think that's like part of the problem. We're not talking about what's actually happening, how we live about it. Anyway, before I get into all that, so I just curled it up a bit, and so this one particular soap dough in here has been sitting in my extruder, so I think it's a little dry, so let's try that again. So I'm just going to swirl this around a bit. And that's not quite as pretty as I'd like it, so let's try that again. Okay. Do you ever like have these words that you say and then you don't realize you say them until later on? Well, I guess I say wash once in a while, but I never noticed I said it, and I only say it when I'm not totally paying attention. And I always think I say wash, but I never knew I said wash. So anyway, I just made that and I wasn't talking to you about it, so we'll try it again. I guess it doesn't matter. It's one of those days, really. But you can see how like swirly it is, so we'll just swirl this around a bit like that. So I'm making the shells right now for these snails, and I'm just going to leave them sit there for a minute. And now we're going to make the snail body, and let's use that yellow because that's nice and bright on the camera. Here comes dog. I could hear him clipping along. So I have this in the extruder, so it turns out just like pretty perfect. And you just pinch the end of the tail off. Snails are super easy to make. And then just squish him down in the center, right? And you could put any kind of personality you want on him. And then glue his shell down. What's the matter, bub? Sorry, I talked to my dog. There. And then you put his head up like that. So you get the idea. Oh, okay, so you can use any color. I've used pink, blue, turquoise, a whole host of colors in the shell part. I'm just using these colors because it's what I happen to have. And then you can see right there. So this guy right here, we're gonna put some eyes in there. I made all this, and then he's been sitting here for about an hour or so. And so now I'm gonna pack his eyes full of black, because rolling a little black soap ball that size is really difficult, and I don't want to do difficult today. So let's put that, and then this guy here, I put a little gear on his head. I made little hats for him this time. And so I'll show you how to do that. So just take just a little bit, like the littlest bit you can take, and then pack it in there and then scrape it off. Usually if this were just for, you know, if I weren't going to show you how to do this, I'd leave this for another day even, because then it'd make it even harder. But I think I could get this done. There. So now you can see his little eyes, and then there's symmetry to them too. So like if I tried to make little tiny eyes that small, they wouldn't be exactly even, and as it is, these are a little bit sketchy anyway. So, and I made his ears kind of bent down, because those little things will break off, but you can see how close they are to his head. So let's put something on here. So let me poke his eyes, so that way his eyes will start to cure a bit, or dry. There, so that'll dry. And I put this in a while ago. Oh, I just cracked it. I don't know if that's gonna work. Let's see. These are little tiny steampunk gears I made the other day, these little silicone molds. That looks all right. I think I can save that. So where's my, so let's put that on there. Doesn't have to be perfect, right? Put it on there. Can kind of hide that crack right there. 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 That looks pretty cute, huh? Looks all right. Of course, that's all in my mind. Okay, so then let me show you how to make a little hat for him, because you get the idea about the gears, right? You just put them in molds, and then you can place them wherever you want. So, but I wanted to show you how to make that hat, because the hat there's no mold for, and I thought you might be interested in that. So I think I'm cooking along pretty well on the videos for Patreon. Tell me, you guys, if you've watched them all, or how you feel about that, you know. So I'm just making the brim part right now. And oh, here I already had some brims right here. So I made these, but I'll show you how I did it, because that's not fair just to do it and then not show you. See, these are a little bit dried. Those are better. Okay. Let's put this guy like that. Putting them in this plastic is such a perfect application, because then they don't dry out. I think dog's complaining a little bit because it's so hot today. It's so weird. It's like, even if it's hot and it says that it's a certain temperature in the house, it's not exactly true. It's more. So there you go. There's that, the brim part, right? So leave that bit there. And now we want to make the top. I started making it, I made a couple different types of hats, and I didn't mean to. They just sort of came out that way, so we'll see. So, oops. Got another one here. I've got some snails to make, so that'll be fine. Oops. I know, it's so hard to show you when I make the little tiny stuff. I don't really have a macro lens on this, but maybe I'll figure that out so I can make it really tiny for you. Okay, so we just need this every little bit of water, right? Okay. Oops. I have a clean one, sorry. Oh, I just hit it. Oh, I'm so sorry. There we go. I'm apologizing to the hat. Okay. So there, and then the other thing that I wanted to show you is you wanted to make like see, I usually just leave this to rest a bit, but I need to show you how to do this. Okay, so you make like a dome on the inside so it'll fit on his head, right? Like that. I know it seems a little fiddly. I would have left this, but that's okay. We could do this anyway. Let's see. There. Okay, that looks pretty good. There. Let me put a little hat on him. Squish it to the back so you can see his face, and then we'll put his eyes on later. And I like to seal that edge so you can't really see the edge of it. And then you can see right there. Okay. He's got a little tiny hat on. And let's put one little gear on him. I'll put a little portion of a gear on him. Let's see, what do we have here? I'll use this. So I don't know if you noticed today, I don't know if you get updates or not like that, but on Patreon I went through each video that I've made and I put the page number down to where you can find it in the book. If that's helpful, I don't know. But, you know, leave me a message if you think it is or think it's not or it doesn't matter. That's a little much. I overdid it with the soap dough in that little mold, didn't I? Doesn't even need quite that much. These are little tiny molds, little tiny gear molds. But they bend and they're unique because I just made them the other day. So let's do like this. Put a little, and there you go. And then I'll fill his eyes in. Could be a girl, it's got a kind of cute hat. Maybe put a flower on there. I don't have any colors out right now, but there. So you get the idea, you know exactly how that works. You see how that now I have lots of little snails I have to make today. I have drawers full of snails. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so hopefully that was helpful, and these are the snails. I'll look up the page and I'll put it up here this time, in the whole thing. Thanks for watching and let me know what your thoughts are.